Forward, the flag for Charlie. Forward, the draw the sword. Forward, up and rally.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. Last time around we started our war against the Marhathan Confederacy, our former allies, and we started running into trouble immediately. This army didn't reach its target. What else was it? I thought this was going to be an outer assault. Turns out there's going to be a battle there today. And then I ran into a load of trouble doing this bridge battle here that ended up taking me 3 hours roughly to actually get a finished battle that I could show. We did win, and we crushed 2 of their full stacks. However, as you can see, units remain. However, I'm hoping Finlay will be able to pursue these and destroy them in outer assaults. When looking back at it now, I actually realized that I lost 5 units in this army, so it's 2 cavalry units that were lost, I'm pretty sure. And then there were a total of 2 Highland warbands as well, and then 1 Irish infantry, I'm pretty sure, because I'm missing 5 units. So the cavalry that was lost is 1 Covenant Dragoon, and then 1 Highland Cavalry. And then we have 2 warbands were lost. Not the named units though, they're still here. And finally then, 1 of the Irish line infantries were destroyed. Didn't really see when it happened. Also, yes, in terms of looking at Queen Anne and how she became queen, I actually have no idea how she became queen, because when I looked at it, I went ahead and brought up the royal family. It actually said that the head of the royal family was William III, and Charles III was down here as a claimant, and then Anne was the claimant right next to him. So I'm guessing that's why it sort of got screwed up, that we didn't have Charles's children taking over, but instead a secondary claimant, which we are to imagine it's his sister then, if he had one. I'm not entirely sure if he did, and an odd choice to have her take over. But yeah, Queen Anne, but this time around it looks as though Queen Anne is actually gonna leave it over to her children, so it's not gonna go to a claimant this time around, because now she's actually pictured as the head of the family, rather than last time when it was William III and Charles III. Yeah, it was Charles III, wasn't it? Was put as a claimant down here. Right, with that said, there's nothing more to be made than to do this battle down here. Unfortunately, it's close enough that I'll have to play it rather than out-resolve. I wouldn't dare add on more troubles to me, and this is a pretty important battle because most of the economic power of the Marhathans actually reside here. 13,000 in wealth in just this region, while all other provinces, roughly around like 3,000 wealth, is apart from their capital, which has 7,000, but this one has 13,000. So really important province that would deprive the Marhathans of this. With that said, let's hope that the newly recruited army under Nicol Kinnard is able to complete the task. So without further ado, let's get on with it and slay our enemies. And here's the battlefield. The enemy is marching out to town to meet us. I have deployed my sepoy line 6 units to the front, 6 units to the back. What I think I'm going to do, because as per usual, the enemy has a load of cavalry, is I will go ahead and move a lot of my units into square already. We got a Lancer unit hurrying forwards here towards the line. I'm gonna order the cannons to fire further back. You should move into square. Looks like you're heading that way. You should move into square. You should move into square. Units in the back should hold fire. Normally, or previously, I've been late at forming the squares. Here, we only lost 6 men. Quite happy with that. Oh. Right, well, this I think actually will work out in my favor. This unit will move to shoot the enemy in the back, while the reserve unit will move forward, take part of the battle. You can actually drop your square, and now you can drop your square, because the enemy in front is not actually intending to charge us. However, this unit is. So I'll be sending that cavalry over there. Going pretty slow, but as soon as this one is able to fire into the back of these guys, they will break pretty quickly. We have a number of units breaking up front, but there's a lot of these swordmen. I'm gonna push forward a unit here in the back to support that. I'm thinking we're winning this fight. We certainly won this one now, which opens up for these to hammer and anvil strike the enemy. I am going to have 2 cannons fire at this, and really what I want is 1 cannon to fire after this, but it looks like we're killing them as they go, so that all cannons will actually fire on this. The Islamic swordman was forced away. I am kind of shocked by that. The unit that was previously in front, they're going to trade places because this one's fully loaded, ready to fire. You should move and attack that. This one was beaten back by the artillery fire. We got something all the way in the back here that I want to fire at. You should move up and extend the flank here. We've got a lot of warriors coming down, but I'm gonna wait to have the cavalry come and attack them in the rear until they actually kind of reach the line here to fight me. I think what I'll do, because it looks like they don't want to go into the charge, is I'll get the back line now to come forward and replace the front one. I'll tell the front one to hold fire, and now we replaced it with fresh troops in most cases, fully loaded, ready to unleash a volley on the enemy. This one's already breaking, and for some reason these bastards didn't want to actually go ahead and charge. There's no point in trying to chase down any of the troops all the way in the back, because this is a town battle and they'll die. So there's no point in trying to chase most of these. The cavalry is now going in, and they hit them while these guys are running all over the place. It is melee infantry, so I don't know why they didn't just try to sweep straight in to my sepoy line, because they could have probably done some serious damage there. But now it is for naught. I am going to order all troops in the center to hold fire and go in for the bayonet charge. Let's end this today. Right, you two. And then my cannons are firing on the militia. As soon as this, you know what, even before this one gives way, I'm gonna order the cavalry to go after this one. We'll tell the cannons to focus in on the house all the way back there, and then all the sepoy units will be ordered to charge the enemy off the field. These strung out in line. Ah, look at that. They've got spikes drawn across the field. The AI is rather sneaky with these different ways they want to lead me. I did not notice that at all. They had set spikes across there. Looks like we might have lost one cavalry rider, so clearly not that bad, but something to watch out for in more battles. However, I'm hoping here that their resistance is broken, besides that one full stack in the north. And as a result of the battle, we deployed 3,600 against 2,700. We only lost 341 men, while the enemy suffered their entire force. Most killings go to company cavalry, which is no surprise since they were able to ride down most of the enemy. We have one Sepoy unit doing outstanding work though. 262 kills for that one, with only 67 lost. The important bit though is that we captured this town. What it looks like though is I will not be able to hold it. We do have a classical university, which might be good to actually burn down. And then I think their mines are actually upgraded too much, or at least now, for me to hold on to all of this. And there's a lot of unhappiness just to all their industry stuff. 7 to industry, 13 to culture, 18 people to government, clamor for reform due to the university, and then resistance to occupiers because this actually will spawn its own region. I also note here that before we took the region, it had a wealth of 13,000. Now it has a wealth of 8,500. What I'm going to do is, as I said, we are not going to try and hold it. The important thing here is to run through the Mahathans as soon as possible and destroy them as a faction rather than trying to seize and hold every bit of land that we capture. Except the pieces here in the north, which we should try as much as possible. This one has quite a lot. 2 industrial, 15 culture. Most of it is due to the resistance. I will hold it for now, but I think we'll quickly try to move on from the region as soon as possible. Try and seize as much of it as possible before they're able to rebuild troops. So there's I'm imagining a rush of these two armies down towards the capital, and then this one will fight here, and then that one will try and march down to Hyderabad and take that. So we, as quickly as possible, seize and destroy the Mahathans, and then we'll have to fight resurgent troops, but I think that will be easier in the long run. because it'll be splintered forces here and there of rebels rather than a coordinated effort by a empire. As there's no moves more to make, we need to end turn, and then we'll see where we strike next, depending on, of course, what the enemy does in light of what I've just accomplished.
Anything else?
Ridiculous demand by the Marhathan Confederacy. I just ruined them in battle, and their offer, their demands, I should say, is for me to hand over 3 territories. The Bengal region and the Rajputana and a number of other provinces they want me to hand over in the peace treaty. In exchange, they want to pay me 990. If you remember last time, I think I replenished my forces up to, I think like 25,000 I spent on putting the new orders for new troops basically to be put into the units. This is clearly they do not want to give up. They just throw this right in my face. A forge built, good. One thing that I did notice is the forge buildings and stuff like this do not incur unhappiness in the lower classes. So these ones you seemingly can build out for quite a bit, all the way. Oh, once you hit the final bit, where the steam engine factory, then it goes to -5 due to industrialization. That's when we put the kids in the factories. We've got workers on strike. We actually have got workers on strike in 2 regions. Mysore is probably gonna rise as its own kingdom. This army will continue. Now it is opposed by a smaller force here. An easy out result, 240 men destroyed, as he is going to lay siege to Goa now, which... Oh, we got a new town. Trade port. I want loads and loads of trade ports. War declared. Spain and... I was about to say Monaco, but it's Morocco. The force here actually leaves the town to march away here. I'm not entirely sure if they're intending... I'm guessing they're intending to bring the war to me. But that leaves this province easy for my capture. No unit lost. 2,000 units within the enemy army destroyed. I lost 1,000 out of my force. The important thing is we took it. And seeing as though they split the force, I could actually pursue these and destroy them, which would be pretty darn good. Meanwhile, they've brought up extra troops to reinforce this army. And then a lot of the other troops are retreating this way. So I figure I should be clear to go ahead and attack here and out-resolve this, which clearly is not the case. I have 6,000 men against their 3,000. How is this not a just clear victory for me? I want this victory, but do I dare? If I out-resolve, it's because he's such a good general, I imagine. I should have killed him when I had a chance, I guess. I actually want to do the battle up here rather than this one, so I'm gonna order Finley to retreat. Finley should not be garrisoning though, because I wanted him at the bridge. But I guess this army has to move to the bridge. Oh, and now they seize the opportunity to attack. So I'll be forced to retreat again. That was not good. That was not good. It's because this general.
How may I be of service?
Thivre. Could I perhaps assassinate him? 11%. Okay, so currently we're not pushing through there. I probably could have won it if I played it, but I want to play this battle, and I feel I don't have time to do both, and I'm more interested in destroying this, because this is more important to deal with, because this one looks to be either going to Hindustan or Nagpur to take that. So that is more of a pressing concern for me. Also, the spies should probably head closer to here and try and perhaps sabotage some of these forces to make sure that they are not able to support Goa. Should not be in the army. Same, I think, here.
As you wish.
Mission. I failed all the missions. Right, great. Right then, we'll have Douglas Hume pursuing this general right here, Bajin Rao the First. Is he a king of some sort? I didn't know that. That the Marathans had could be a prince of some sort. Man-eating tiger. That doesn't sound like fun. I would hate to be captured by her forces. Right, so we are not able to push through, but the thing is, to combined here, the enemy isn't gonna push through and do any serious damage on me, so governor's residence might be good to have, and building this up, drill school would increase repression as well, so that could be good. Perhaps I should recruit some company forces to aid on into this force, as it lost quite a few units. But not right now. Right now, I want to continue the march here, catch up to Bajin Rao, Bajin Rao the First, and take care of his army. It's got a lot of these musketeers, but again, loads of cavalry as well. Quite dangerous. They've got close to 4,000 men, and I've got 6,000. We have a clear advantage in numbers, and I was about to say guns, but they have some good guns as well. Although I have better accuracy. Anyways, we won't know until we actually fight the battle. We fought a battle on these plains before, and won. This time, though, I figure we'll get a much more decisive victory on these plains. The enemy, in all their wisdom, decided that the best course of action was to move their entire army, or start off their entire army, about as far away from my troops as possible. So we have had to march up quite a bit, but it looks like they have decided, you know what, he's got superior artillery, and I actually blown one of their artillery pieces to bits already. Unnecessary to form into square, as he's gonna snag on to the pike square, I believe. Heavy cavalry should continue forwards. I have set one battery in the back, or two batteries in the back, as you can see there, and then one was set up here on the flank. Oh, look at that. They're sending their cavalry right in to my prepared units. Oh, I think I'm shooting into my... yeah, I'm shooting into my own men. I think if I want to use these cannons anymore, I'm gonna have to move them. We'll probably have to move this cannon on the side as well. But otherwise, I think these prepared lines are perfectly fine for what we have in mind for this battle. Oh wait, is he going directly for my artillery over here? I'll have one of the heavy cavalry units rush over to try and stop him, and then the other two will go after this unit right here. Okay, so he dealt with it. You will fire round shot towards this, and you will just make sure that these guys are followed off the field. The heavy cavalry successfully charged this unit and killed loads of them. We've got a single unit here. Alright, the battery is ready to be moved. We've got higher ground over here to cover where the enemy is coming from. I also think that this battery should probably be moved up to this hill to get a better position. Okay, so these guys are not coming back, but we've got a pair of lancers coming in against the heavy cavalry, so they'll have to deal with them there. And now, ooh! Good volley right in their face. But it might have worked better if I had formed into square. And then we've got the Royal Guard cavalry dealing with one unit here. I don't know what they sort of decided, oh, we're gonna attack, and then middle of the attack there's like, no, wait a minute, let's not actually attack. I think this is probably the better. Oh, they came back. I'll still give the order. Once they actually arrive there, the enemy should have already been killed. And then this cavalry unit will be pulled back. We have a chance to take out more of their battery and forcing them once again to come to me. Didn't I order you to attack them? I kind of want them gone since my battery is supposed to set up there. Of the general! I was talking about potentially assassinating him. That is no need, because the bastard is suicidal. Right, now they're not gonna come back. This unit though might. So I'll set the heavy cavalry in defense here, just in case the enemy comes this way. I want you guys to hold fire. Oh, he's gonna fire. What is his plan? Is he just gonna sit there? Well, if he invites himself for such a target, then who am I to deny him? Right, that cannon's gone. You can return to the line. This battery is ready to be set up. These are not just ready just yet. What is he doing? What is his planning? He's turning his back on us. What sort of weird power play is this? Clearly one that is not working out for him. Because his entire bodyguard unit is killed, and he's the only one that remains. This is the thing about battles you can't out-resolve. And then when you actually go into battle and it turns into this, and it's like, what was even the point? If the enemy had been more decisive in their attack, they might have been able to do something against me, but now there is nothing really going on for them. Right, we'll advance, and at this point there's no point in sending the pikes forward because all the enemy cavalry is gone, so the pikes might actually just stay in the back while the line infantry go ahead and advance. And take position up front. And with all the melee infantry ready to take part here. What if I push them into the center, they push like that, and then 4 units that way, 3 units that way, or actually 4 that way, 3 that way. And the heavy cavalry should swing around here. Let's make sure they haven't placed spikes anywhere. No, doesn't look like it. And then all this cavalry will move out to this side. Dragoons will hold fire, because there's a high risk of friendly fire. Right, the batteries are set up, aren't they? So they should be firing at this point. They're probably specifically aiming for this gun, where I think I will do more damage by aiming for the enemy's infantry. The front line, it looks like the enemy is going to meet us earlier than what I thought. So we're going to reorganize the front lines here. This one should actually be fine. And then the units in the back should hurry up to get into position. The swordmen can wait, because they'll need their strength. The lighter cavalry units will swing around faster that way, and then the heavy cavalry will swing around here. Get into position as soon as possible. Most of the enemy, all of the enemy units are musket units at this point. High risk of friendly fire here. At this point, the enemy units are so close, it's time to tell them to hold fire. The pikes will attack here. This unit's already giving way. Royal Guard. And then these units will come in here. Heavy cavalry come in here. What I'll go ahead and do is the 10th Highland Cavalry will deal with the enemy guns, while the other 3 units will charge the enemy in the back and pin them against my front line and kill them that way. Oh, you're not firing at will. Also, very heavy losses here in the front ranks, or at least on the superior line infantry. Here goes the charges go in. Oh, that unit was already ready for us. And then, let's see, line infantry. Hold fire. As it's now down to the cavalry. There we go, we've slayed them all. And there's victory. And here's the result of the battle. We deployed 6,191 against about 4,000 enemies. We ended up losing 883 men, leaving us with a force of 5,300, while the enemy is left with only 244 men after the battle, not including their general, as he was killed. Or was he? I'm pretty sure he was. No, wait, he wasn't actually. I don't know, I didn't see. He was the only one out of the unit survived. I was sure he kind of died, but he didn't. Right. Who killed what? Scottish Cuirassiers, it's the cavalry. They were able to ride down the enemy. We have one unit, Earl of Argyll Pike Regiments, that was able to get in some kills there. I imagine that is the unit on the right that was able to do that. The general managed to get away. I was talking about... Oh, and my... perhaps the dragoons? Where do I have my dragoons? No, they don't... But detach the dragoons. No, they don't actually reach him. Impossible, sir. The enemy is not to be reached. But, he lives to fight another day, but he doesn't have any troops to do any significant damage behind enemy lines. And Douglas Hume gets aggressive attacker. The, I imagine the Marhathans is downgraded in their power quite a bit. The power is now moderate. My power is mighty. I thought I would be spectacular, given the amount of troops I have, but clearly not. We make 30, even with me having low taxes basically everywhere. I have the lowest taxes in it. I am actually taxing my American colonies more than my other colonies, or my other areas, besides perhaps the nobles in Europe. And I'm still making all this money. Clearly though, I'm guessing it's not, yeah, it's not coming, most of that money is not coming in from taxable income, but rather trade, which we've seen in the previous campaign can be dangerous. So it keeps to have a good navy on hand. Last time around, the port of Malmö is a little bit more guarded, because you have to go in through here, through the Baltic, into the Baltic Sea to get in, while, well, ours is actually pretty guarded as well, heading up here to get the main port. But the thing is, I've got so many ports because of controlling England that we have ports literally all over the place. But I have now a pretty strong home navy of, we've got 5 56 gun ships, actually 6 56 gun ships, and 3 84. Don't have an admiral though. Should really put an admiral in charge. Old Willie, Woolly Willie, because of his big wig. He's in charge of the home navy at this point. Saying that like he's about to lose it any second now. But yeah, we are on good way of destroying the Marhathans. The Marhathans currently hold 4 territories. Their armies have been severely downgraded. I will be ending turn, and then we will be able to cross. But I think that that will be for another episode. We've done 2 battles. We seized 2 territories. And yeah, I think we did rather well. So, I will be saying, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.